Hey guys, welcome back. Um, I hope everyone is having a good weekend so far. I know yesterday I talked a lot about how I was really frustrated and not understanding what was happening and just feeling very like I'm just seeing the darkness in the Bible, and I'm feeling better today. Um, I prayed a lot yesterday. Um, I'm just hoping that, things will continue to get better. And one of the things that I had been hung up on too was the fact that God used um, King David and that woman. Her name was Bathsheba, or something like that, with a B. Um, she was the one that he saw bathing naked and wanted her, and then got her pregnant, and then and then King David had her husband killed, and made it look like it was, during battle. Their child that was born, God, used that child and struck it down with illness, and it really tore David up, and that was part of his punishment, for what he did. And I just couldn't stop thinking, like, why would God punish an innocent child to punish someone else? Like, if you sin or you do something bad and you are punished for it, totally get it. But like an innocent child, like, why would God do that? And I've been praying a lot, like trying to understand, like, why God would do that. Like, why? Like, why would you do that? And I came across an article last night saying that, you know, basically, one, we don't know what that child's future would have been, because a bunch of other of David's sons ended up being, bad and doing bad things. So we don't know if that child was also going to have that kind of future, and maybe God was saving, us from that child in the future. I don't know. You don't know. We don't know. God knows, but we don't. And then also too, the biggest thing that I gathered was the child wasn't tortured. It's not like the child was like violently ill. It just, God just struck it down with an illness, and it ended up dying after 7 days. But nowhere does it say that the child was like violently ill, or being tortured or anything. And then the article said also that, like, the innocent children, young children, immediately, they're automatically get to go to heaven. I don't know if that's true or not, but, and then also the biggest thing that I gathered was, you know, you just have to trust God. Period. End of story. We may not get all the answers. We may not know everything. We may not understand why God does certain things. But at the end of the day, you just have to have faith and just trust in God, and that He knows what He's doing, whether it's something that we see or agree with or not. And that was really difficult for me, because I was just like, it's a child, like, that's horrible. And then I thought about when I was a child, or as being a parent now to my daughter. If I tell my daughter, you know, for example, like, we were at the park right now and she kept putting sand in her mouth. And I was like, oh my God, don't do that, don't do that. And trying to get it out of her mouth. Like, finally I got her, and we left because she kept doing it, and she got mad. And she may not agree with it, but I'm the parent and I know what's best, because I'm, older than her, wiser than her. I know more. I have more life experience. Like, I know more than her. She's a child. She doesn't know, and I think about that sometimes with God. God is um, our father, our parent, but you have to think, God is so above us and so beyond our imagination he sees things that we can't possibly see or imagine or even think about or even comprehend. And yes, he struck down that child with an illness, but it wasn't like a violent, crazy, horrible ending for that child. It just said it struck it down with an illness. For all we know, it could have been a very, not a terrible ending for the child. And then, the child, from what I read, got to go to heaven. And then, who knows? Maybe God was saving us from something in the future too. All I'm saying is, it is not easy to just have complete blind trust and faith in God. I believe in God and I trust Him and have faith in Him, but I'd be lying if I didn't say it was something like that. It makes it difficult because it's like, why? Like, why? But then I think about me as a parent or me as a child with my parents, you may not agree with what your parents do or what you do as a parent. Your child may not agree with it. But at the end of the day, when I tell my daughter no on something or I do something, or take her away from putting a bunch of dirty dirt at the park in her mouth, she may be upset about it and not understand it, but I know what's best. I know what's going on. I know the real situation of it. And I see the possibilities that can come in the future from her putting all that sand and all that nastiness in her mouth, bacteria, diseases, things, grossness, and it's hard. It's hard to just have blind faith and trust in God. So I don't know. I'm trying, and I ask God all the time to help me grow my faith in Him and understand Him better and really just have faith in Him and trust Him. But I'd be lying if I didn't say it's difficult sometimes, especially when reading the Bible. So I don't know. It's tough. But I'm not giving up and I'm not turning my back on God or the Bible. So I'm just going to keep chugging along and just, hope that God can continue to grow my faith in Him and enlighten me on things that I'm allowed to know. Because there are some things that as humans we're just not meant to know, and God doesn't need to explain Himself to us. He knows what He's doing and He knows what's going on, and if it's something that we don't need to know, then we just have to accept that and let it go. It's not easy though. It's hard. I have days where I have a hard time, just really having that blind faith in God, and that trust. I don't know, it's difficult. But let's get into today's chapters. So let's get started.
He teaches my hands to make war, so that my arms can bend a bow of bronze. You have also given me the shield of your salvation. Your gentleness has made me great. You enlarged my path under me, so my feet did not slip. I have pursued my enemies and destroyed them. Neither did I turn back again till they were destroyed. And I have destroyed them and wounded them, so that they could not rise. They have fallen under my feet, for you have armed me with strength for the battle. You have subdued under me those who rose against me. You have also given me the necks of my enemies, so that I destroyed those who hated me. They looked, but there was none to save, even to the Lord, but He did not answer them. Then I beat them as fine as the dust of the earth. I trod them like dirt in the streets, and I spread them out. You have also delivered me from the strivings of my people. You have kept me as the head of the nations. A people I have not known shall serve me. The foreigners submit to me. As soon as they hear, they obey me. The foreigners fade away and come frightened from their hideouts. The Lord lives. Blessed be my rock. Let God be exalted, the rock of my salvation. It is God who avenges me and subdues the peoples under me. He delivers me from my enemies. You also lift me up above those who rise against me. You have delivered me from the violent man. Therefore, I will give thanks to you, O Lord, among the Gentiles, and sing praises to your name. He is the tower of salvation to his king, and shows mercy to his anointed, to David and his descendants forevermore. Now these are the last words of David. Thus says David, the son of Jesse. Thus says the man raised up on high, the anointed of the God of Jacob, and the sweet psalmist of Israel. The Spirit of the Lord spoke by me, and his word was on my tongue. The God of Israel said, the Rock of Israel spoke to me. He who rules over men must be just, ruling in the fear of God, and he shall be like the light of the morning when the sun rises, a morning without clouds, like the tender grass springing out of the earth by clear shining after rain. Although my house is not so with God, yet he has made with me an everlasting covenant, ordered in all things and secure. For this is all my salvation and all my desire. Will he not make it increase? But the sons of rebellion shall all be as thorns thrust away, because they cannot be taken with hands. But the man who touches them must be armed with iron and the shaft of a spear, and they shall be utterly burned with fire in their place. These are the names of the mighty men whom David had. Josheb-Basshebeth, the Tachmonite, chief among the captains. He was called Adonai, the Eznite, because he had killed 800 men at one time. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Ahohite, one of the 3 mighty men with David when they defied the Philistines who were gathered there for battle, and the men of Israel had retreated. He arose and attacked the Philistines until his hand was weary and his hand stuck to the sword. The Lord brought about a great victory that day, and the people returned after him only to plunder. And after him was Shammah, the son of Agi, the Hararite. The Philistines had gathered together into a troop where there was a piece of ground full of lentils. So the people fled from the Philistines, but he stationed himself in the middle of the field, defended it, and killed the Philistines. So the Lord brought about a great victory. Then 3 of the 30 chief men went down at harvest time and came to David at the cave of Adullam. And the troop of Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. David was then in the stronghold, and the garrison of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David said with longing, "Oh, that someone would give me a drink of the water from the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate." So the 3 mighty men broke through the camp of the Philistines, drew water from the well of Bethlehem that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David. Nevertheless, he would not drink it, but poured it out to the Lord. And he said, "Far be it from me, O Lord, that I should do this. Is this not the blood of the men who went in jeopardy of their lives?" Therefore he would not drink it. These things were done by the 3 mighty men. Now Abishai, the brother of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was chief of another 3. He lifted his spear against 300 men, killed them, and won a name among these 3. Was he not the most honored of three? Therefore he became their captain. However, he did not attain to the first three. Benaiah was the son of Jehoiada, the son of a valiant man from Kabzeel, who had done many deeds. He had killed 2 lion-like heroes of Moab. He also had gone down and killed a lion in the midst of a pit on a snowy day. And he killed an Egyptian, a spectacular man. The Egyptian had a spear in his hand. So he went down to him with a staff, wrested the spear out of the Egyptian's hand, and killed him with his own spear. These things Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, did, and won a name among 3 mighty men. He was more honored than the 30, but he did not attain to the first 3, and David appointed him over his guard. Asahel, the brother of Joab, was one of the 30. Elhanan, the son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shammah, the Harodite, Elika, the Harodite, Helez, the Paltite, Ira, the son of Ikesh, the Tekoite, Abiezer, the Anathothite, Mabunai, the Hushathite, Zalman, the Ahohite, Maharai, the Netophathite, Heleb, the son of Baanah, the Netophathite, Ittai, the son of Ribai, from Gibeah of the children of Benjamin, Benaiah, a Pirathonite, Hiddai, from the brooks of Gaash, Abi-Albon, the Arbathite, Asmapheth, the Barhumite, Eliabah, the Shaalbonite, of the sons of Jashan, Jonathan, Shammah, the Hararite, Ahiam, the son of Sherar, the Hararite, Eliphalet, the son of Ahasbai, the son of the Maacathite, Eliam, the son of Ahithophel, the Gilonite, Hezrai, the Carmelite, Peorai, the Arbite, Igal, the son of Nathan of Zobah, Bani, the Gadite, Zelek, the Ammonite, Naharai, the Beerothite, armor-bearer of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, Ira, the Ithrite, Garib, the Ithrite, and Uriah, the Hittite, 37 in all. Again, the anger of the Lord was aroused against Israel, and he moved David against them to say, "Go, number Israel and Judah." So the king said to Joab, the commander of the army who was with him, "Now go throughout all the tribes of Israel, from Dan to Beersheba, and count the people, that I may know the number of the people." And Joab said to the king, "Now may the Lord your God add to the people 100 times more than there are, and may the eyes of my lord the king see it. But why does my lord the king desire this thing?" Nevertheless, the king's word prevailed against Joab and against the captains of the army. Therefore, Joab and the captains of the army went out from the presence of the king to count the people of Israel. And they crossed over the Jordan and camped in Aroer, on the right side of the town, which is in the midst of the ravine of Gad, and toward Jazer. Then they came to Gilead, and to the land of Tatim-Hodshai. They came to Dan-Jaan, and around to Sidon. And they came to the stronghold of Tyre, and to all the cities of the Hivites, and the Canaanites. Then they went out to South Judah, as far as Beersheba. So when they had gone through all the land, they came to Jerusalem, at the end of 9 months and 20 days. Then Joab gave the sum of the number of the people to the king, and there were in Israel 800,000 valiant men who drew the sword, and the men of Judah were 500,000 men. And David's heart condemned him after he had numbered the people. So David said to the Lord, "I have sinned greatly in what I have done. But now, I pray, O Lord, take away the iniquity of your servant, for I have done very foolishly." Now when David arose in the morning, the word of the Lord came to the prophet Gad, David's seer, saying, "Go and tell David, thus says the Lord, I offer you 3 things. Choose one of them for yourself, that I may do it to you." So Gad came to David and told him, and he said to him, "Shall 7 years of famine come to you in your land, or shall you flee 3 months before your enemies, while they pursue you? Or shall there be 3 days' plague in your land? Now consider and see what answer I should take back to him who sent me." And David said to Gad, "I am in great distress. Please, let us fall into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great, but do not let me fall into the hand of man." So the Lord sent a plague upon Israel from the morning till the appointed time. From Dan to Beersheba, 70,000 men of the people died. And when the angel stretched out his hand over Jerusalem to destroy it, the Lord relented from the destruction and said to the angel who was destroying the people, "It is enough. Now restrain your hand." And the angel of the Lord was by the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. Then David spoke to the Lord when he saw the angel who was striking the people, and said, "Surely I have sinned, and I have done wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Let your hand, I pray, be against me and against my father's house."
See, there's another case in point. Like, why is he, like David saying, I sinned. What's my punishment? But then God sends a plague, and 70, what was it, 70,000 people die? I don't know what it is, but I just feel so I just feel like I just in questioning like God. And I don't mean to, like, I don't want to question him, but I feel like it's hard for me to come at peace with God when I see him do things like that. It's like I just I don't know. I'm just so like I don't understand. I don't understand why he would punish people that didn't do anything, and like almost like, certain people, innocent people are just in the crosshairs, or like I don't know. I just feel like I feel like lately I've just been like being bombarded with like questions about why God is doing certain things that I'm just like just doesn't seem right, because when you see people that are a lot further in their faith, and they just seem so like, I trust God without a doubt, and he's loving and he's great and he's all these things and it's all great stuff, but I'm sitting here like all I see is like bad stuff, and like things that I'm like, well, why would God do this? Why would God do that? Like, I don't know if it's like a tactic of the enemy right now trying to turn me away from God, and so he's making me like question all these things about God, but it's like I don't even know where to get the answers anymore. Like, I don't know if God's going to like answer these questions, or I don't know. Like, I just feel so like lost right now, and it's really frustrating. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna have to keep praying and asking God to help me, because I don't like feeling this way. I don't like feeling like all knotted up in my stomach, because I'm like questioning all of these things and why God is doing certain things, and like that just don't seem right. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Well, I will talk to you guys tomorrow, because I'm frustrated right now and a little down, if I'm being honest. So, sorry. And I have to take off the music in the background, because I used to let the music play in the background in the beginning because it's the app that does that. But then one of my videos got like a warning or something because of the music. It like recognized it or something and wanted to make sure I wasn't like, I don't know, copywriting or something. So I have to take that off again. But it was kind of nice in the beginning. It was relaxing. Okay, guys. Well, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.